everyone, my name is Marissa and welcome to my channel. Can't believe I am finally saying that. I've been wanting to start a channel for years. I've just been so scared to just start this, putting it out there and just creating. I don't know why I was so scared to do this, but I'm finally doing it and that's what matters, especially with what is happening in my life and what this video is about today. I have so many interests. Being able to put them all in one, why not? I think that's really beautiful and I think this is an amazing platform to do it. I think that I watch YouTube more than anything. I have a Netflix account that I still pay for, but I don't watch because I watch YouTube instead. Boyfriend, I'm sure he has the biggest grudge against me right now because I've taken over his entire YouTube, like recommendations, searches, everything. It's either like crime, beauty reviews, anything prisons, any like YouTuber, like family vloggers, and BuzzFeed, anything BuzzFeed. When he gets on his YouTube, he does not see sports or Vice. It's gone. I'm okay with that. He's definitely not. I think it's a beautiful creative outlet. Really excited to see what happens. This video today, as you can tell by the title, I took a DNA test. I took 2. The results and what is happening in my life right now is insane. I honestly can't believe it. I try to put it together every single day and it's slowly unfolding in front of me. I want to share what's happening because I know that there are people out there that have either done DNA tests or do their own investigations trying to find family members. It's a scary but exciting journey. I don't want any of you to feel alone. I want to be able to kind of open conversation about these things. So that is what this video is about today. I can't wait to see what happens. My name is Marissa. I actually grew up in like northern Missouri and southern Iowa, really, really small towns. I grew up with my mom and my brother until about kindergarten, first grade. We were put in foster care and we were separated. We were connected later on in life in 2013. He actually found me. We talked for about a year and a half. Unfortunately, our communication died off and we have not had contact since. My brother was like my sidekick. Though he was my big brother, it was as if like I was his big sister because he came to me for everything. We were 2 peas in a pod and I feel like I understood him more than anyone else. I was there by his side to try to understand, even at a young age. To be separated from him, not being able to see him has really sat with me. When we talked back in 2013, many questions came up. You know, it's hard. Now as an adult, I'm able to process it a little better, able to understand a little bit more. It's been hard, don't get me wrong. It has had me put up many, many walls. One thing that my mother never kept from me when I ended up back with her was that I had other sisters and another brother. She knew their names. She didn't know their last names. We thought maybe they might have had like my biological father's last name. And so throughout the years, I mean, even, you know, with MySpace and Facebook, the searching began. I mean, I would put their first name in and then my biological father's last name. I figured, you know, maybe that's what it is. And I mean, I searched my whole life. Nothing came up. There were so many times I wanted to message people just at random, anyone that like looked like me, because growing up in the Midwest, my mother has like blue greenish eyes, really fair skin, light brown hair. We look nothing alike. That was another hard thing growing up in just really, really small towns where no one looks like you, constantly having to defend why I don't look like my mother and what are you? I was told my whole life that I am Latina. As I got older and started doing a little investigating and putting timelines together, I didn't know whether I was or if I wasn't, knowing that I had other siblings out there. I knew my grandmother's name and that was about it. My mom would throw out different names here and there. It was obviously really hard for her to talk about, especially talking about my biological father. I found out later on in my adolescence that he actually signed his rights away, my brother and I, when we were in foster care. And so I think over the years, I've had to kind of build this tough exterior about that. You know, everyone makes choices and there were so many things in my head of what I hoped. Maybe, you know, maybe he was too young and he wasn't ready to raise children. You know, all of these things in my head. Mother would tell me all different things about him and it was almost like I didn't want to believe that. I had this like hope that he was this different kind of person. I've grown to just let that go, especially with what is happening right now. Fast forward to 2019, I want to say like February, I had the opportunity to take a DNA test. It's not very popular. A lot of people haven't taken it. It's not as popular as like Ancestry or 23andMe. I figured it's about time in my life that I do this. Figure out what this other half of me, I look this way, why? So I took it and I was very, very nervous. I was nervous for many reasons. Childhood, obviously, and being called names and because of how I looked and what was I, but you don't look like your mom and you don't speak Spanish, but you're a Latina, followed me my whole life up until college. I was able to meet this beautiful Latin community at my university, and a lot of them embraced me regardless if I spoke Spanish or not. Some of them didn't, and I understand that. Some people were like, you know, you didn't grow up in our culture. You're not Latina. You don't speak Spanish. You're not Latina. That stuck with me. Even moving to Los Angeles, that stuck with me. I think it was that fear built up that I didn't want to take a DNA test. You know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But then something hit me. This past year has been just a whirlwind of just everything. This is a sign. There's a big change and I know it. I can feel it. And my God, has there been a big change. It's unreal. I had the DNA test with me for like 3 weeks. I just put it aside. Finally, one morning I woke up and I'm like, you've got to do this. You got to do it for yourself. You got to do it for your future. I want to eventually have children and I want them to know where they come from. I took it, I let it be. I didn't really say anything to a lot of people, mainly my closest friends, and they knew that it was a very touchy subject because I knew that I had siblings out there who may be what my biological father was. So my mother's side, wanting to dig in deep on her side as well. All of these things just in my life and growing up, it stopped me from wanting to do that. I want to say like 6 weeks went by, finally came back. Was so nervous. I didn't even know where to freaking start. The National Geographic one, it tells you, boom, 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 this is what you are. The first thing was German. My mother is German and English, and I start reading down more. It says Nicaraguan and then Colombian, and I just lost it. So many years just having to like defend, yes, I am a Latina. So many comments and I was never fully able to say it with confidence. This is what I am. Finally, this comes back. It's like boom, boom, boom. So I ended up texting my mom and I said, listen, I want to know, what am I? And my mom's like, all right. Different things have been said to me, but I didn't really know like what to believe. My mom's like, you're obviously German because of me, but your father is Nicaraguan and Colombian. That was the first time I ever heard Colombian. Ever. Holy shit, like she has no idea that I took this. I kind of let the conversation go a little bit and I said, okay, I took a DNA test. You hit it out of the park. That's exactly what came and I can't believe it. I don't know what's gonna happen. This changes everything. Coming out to Los Angeles and chasing the career that I am. This is what I look like, but this is what I am. I may not speak Spanish, but I'm learning and that counts. Like I said, the National Geographic one, not a lot of people have taken, and I don't think that it shows family members. And I haven't been on it in a while, so I don't know if they've updated certain things. And a few weeks later, I ended up taking the Ancestry DNA test. That one breaks it down for you. I was terrified. When I take this, not only is it gonna break it down, people are gonna start showing up. I take it, the results, let it brew, let it do its business. My mom contacts me a week before results came in and she's like, Marissa, you need to sit down because I've got to tell you something and this is going to be a little crazy. She says, I found someone on Facebook and I think it's your half brother. And I was like, Mom, calm down. First of all, are you sure? Did you message this person? And she's like, yes, I did. So she messaged this gentleman and she said, listen, this is my name. I believe that you might be my children's half brother. This is their biological father's name. This is their grandmother's name. The extent of what they talked about, but my mom laid it down for him. I think he responded back like, are you crazy? Who are you? I guess they started talking, exchanging, I think pictures, and eventually it got broken down to, hey, I have to tell my daughter that I found you. He contacted me and she's like, I gave him your information. Yes, Mom. I definitely want to get a hold of him. So I get a message, tells me a little bit about himself, tells me like, hey, this is my biological father's name, my grandmother's name, and by the way, Mom contacted me. I think this is really it. And it took me a minute to really process him contacting me because in the back of my mind, all I could think of was my brother. I felt instant guilt because I knew in that moment, I'm gonna have to explain to him why my brother is not with me. I don't know if he's gonna understand it. I don't know if anyone will understand it. Extremely tough time in my childhood. Still trying to accept it. Now, I mean, we're grown adults now, and I knew that I was gonna have to in some way explain to him why we are no longer together and what happened. Just by looking at him, yeah, this is my family. He started sending me pictures and even pictures of my biological father. I'd never seen him before, ever. It was a little while we'd been talking, and he says to me, you know, this isn't the first time that I've been contacted. He goes, no, our sisters. In that moment, I just like, I think I answered him back for a long time. He types their name out so much all at once. Hold on a minute. It's like, do you want to see them? This is it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Send me whatever pictures, whatever you have on them, send it to me. Oh my God. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Again, I don't think I answered him back for a while. When I was growing up, I grew up in towns where no one looked like me. It was me standing next to blonde hair, blue eyes all around me. It was the hardest thing, having to like defend why I look the way I do and not knowing and not having someone by my side. And then my brother, he was everything right next to me, you know, like I didn't feel so alone when he was next to me. And not having him by my side was like the hardest thing in the world. When that moment, I didn't know if I wanted to see them. It was the most unreal feeling, like looking into a mirror. I will forever remember that, forever remember that moment of seeing their faces for the first time. He tells me like, hey, well, this is your younger sister's information. If you want to reach out, reach out. You don't, take your time, whatever you want to do. Know that I'm here for you, know that I have your back. So I did end up messaging her. I said, this is my name. This is who I think my father is. This is my half-brother's name. And it took a little bit for her to answer back. But when she did, scheduling a time to actually video chat with each other. She's all the way in New York and I was in LA. I got home and got myself together. I sprayed perfume, I put deodorant on, even though she's not gonna smell. I'm like sweating profusely. This is the moment that I'm gonna see her. I'm gonna hear her. I knew names my whole life, but to finally put a face to it, to finally hear a voice, to know that this is your blood. By the way, I'm a big sister. I'm an older sister. I've always been the baby. I've always been the little sister. Always. And now I am the big sister. I'm also an aunt again. Listen, my biological father had 6 children with 4 women. We still have a sister out there. We don't know if she has my biological father's last name or if she her mother's last name. We are bound and determined to find our other sister. Find my brother. We will. We know that we will. We are so excited to see what happens from this point on. I think that I want to wait to share the rest of that story with all of you. I want to say the next week, Ancestry results came in. Ancestry, it shows you more in depth into what you are, genetics, and who's gonna pop up. And that was the first thing I looked at. I was like, I already know what I am. Now I want to see what family is gonna pop up. Boom, first cousin. Boom, second cousin. It just kept going down and down and down. Same last names. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I want my brother to experience. You know, it's been 8 months now. This is what has put fire inside of me to share this story. I am so incredibly excited. Very, very soon. First ever Thanksgiving. Not only with my boyfriend who is gonna be going with me, but with my sisters. Spend as much time as we can, experience New York, meet my family. Since I took my DNA test, he has been that person in my life that has pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. You've gotta dig, you've gotta know, and invested in this as well. I feel so, so blessed to have him by my side. Lord knows I am nervous as hell. At the end of the day, more than anything that my sisters and I want to do is let people know that you are not alone. To be able to build a community, to let people know that we are here, we are standing together, we are by each other's side. I think us kids have come to a conclusion that we gotta stay strong and we're gonna continue to be strong, grow and start families and start our lives. We deserve that. I cannot wait to go there. It's gonna be quite an experience, so stay tuned. Would love to hear your stories and see what has come about for any of you. What DNA tests have you taken? Have you done 23andMe? I really wanna do that. I'm on a roll with 2 of them now. I might as well continue on. Thank you all so much for watching. See you on the next one.